Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys. It's Polly and Taylor from Beaten Jeans.
And we have our, is this our third interview?
It's our third interview.
Our third interview of November, which of course is Stomach Cancer Awareness Month. We are bringing on Raquel, or also known as Can't Stomach Anymore. And we're going to hear all about her journey. And we do know that she does not have a stomach. She had a total gastrectomy. So we're going to bring her on right now and find out some more. Okay. Here she is. I'm going to invite her. Okay. Oh, hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Raquel.
Hi.
Let me turn my volume up.
Hi.
I can't hear you.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. Thank
Nice
you
to,
for
talk to
joining
you
us
guys.
today.
Yeah,
We're so happy to be talking to you.
likewise.
Oh,
Did you have a good gym session today?
I did. It was a little brutal because I injured my hand, so it's been like all legs for the last week, and
Oh, no.
yeah,
Oh no, what happened
my
to your
legs are
hand?
sore. Huh?
What did you do to your hand?
Oh, just climbing. I just
Oh.
did too much, you know.
You are very active. You're a very active human being.
Yes.
Very inspiring.
Yeah. So you do not have a stomach. You had a total gastrectomy.
Yes.
And can you tell us, what led up to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, actually, ironically, it kind of started at the gym because I had been going and I do these things called hip thrusts where you kind of lay on a pad and you kind of lift your hips up. And afterwards, I was noticing a lot of bruising on my back, and I thought, oh, that's really weird. Why am I bruising? So I'm a doctor, so I had one of my friends at work order me some labs, and I found out that I was anemic, and which is really weird for me because I have an IUD and I don't have periods anymore.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, that's really weird, and I kind of blew it off, oh, made up 10,000 excuses as to why I was anemic. And my friend was like, no, you really need to go see a gastroenterologist. So I did. And she did a scope, and they found that I had hundreds and hundreds of polyps in my stomach, it was carpeted all over in the entire stomach. And so she said, oh, I think we need to do some genetic testing. She said, this is very unusual. And so we did, and I was diagnosed with my mutation, which is gastric adenocarcinoma and proximal polyposis of the stomach, or GAPPS for short, because that's a mouthful.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And how long ago was this?
This is 2 years, a little over 2 years ago. So I had my 2-year anniversary for my gastrectomy was in August.
Okay. So you found out that you had the polyps in your stomach, and then they did the genetic testing. Mm-hmm. And then did they recommend right away, let's take out your stomach, or were there other steps involved?
No. So I'm the proband, meaning I was the first person in my family to be diagnosed with this mutation. And it's a very rare mutation. When I looked at the literature, there's only 12 to 15 families that have been diagnosed with this mutation. It was just recently discovered in 2012. So I think that's why there's not a lot of people, is because it's just a newer mutation. As people know more about it, then more people will get tested and we'll learn more about it. But so there wasn't a lot of literature on specifically my mutation and what would happen. But when they did biopsies, they found a lot of precancerous cells. And what my gastroenterologist was saying is, because my stomach is carpeted with polyps, you can only really biopsy a couple. You can't biopsy everything, because that would be the entire stomach, right?
Right.
So they said, based on the literature, there was one lady who was very similar age, who had the same pathology on biopsies that I did, who ended up dying of gastric cancer because they removed the polyps, but she ended up having cancer elsewhere. And it was such a high rate of a high risk of getting cancer once you had the polyps. For me personally, I just had to have it removed, because I knew I wouldn't be comfortable just knowing that there's this kind of ticking time bomb in my body.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
So does that particular mutation, since I've never heard of it, does it affect other parts of your body, or is it just strictly gastric?
So great question. So there's an association actually in males with prostate cancer, but they are still doing research to see if it's associated with like breast cancer, like CDH1 is, or like Lynch syndrome or some of these other ones that are associated with breast cancer. There's been some reports of ovarian cancer, but it's just, you know, the numbers, the total number of people that have this mutation are so small. So if you have like one or two people that have like another kind of cancer, can you say, oh, is it because of the mutation, or is it just because like general population, they would have gotten this cancer kind of regardless? So.
And is that a 50-50 chance of getting it?
Yeah, it's autosomal dominant. So if you get the mutation, you're gonna express the gene, you're gonna express it. So it's not like hidden, and you only need the one copy of it to get it.
Wow.
Now, in your family, did you have other people from your family tree that have had stomach cancer?
Yeah, actually, so it's funny because it's all on my dad's side of the family, and they're from Ecuador. And so I knew I had, like, my grandfather died of like a perforated ulcer, gastric ulcer, before I was even born, actually, before my dad came to the States, I think. And I had some other, like, you know, second cousins and stuff that had cancer, but we just kind of attributed it to them being in South America, and there's a really high prevalence of H. pylori, which in the general population is the #1 cause of gastric cancer. And so we kind of just figured, oh, this is because they're in South America, there's a high prevalence of H. pylori, and they're getting gastric cancer this way. We didn't have any idea that it was because of mutation.
Right. If it's so rare, you don't think it's going to happen to your family, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So once that you had the scope and they discovered all the polyps and did the biopsies, how long before you decided to move forward, and where did you have your surgery?
Yeah, so I waited about, I think it was like 3 months. Well, I mean, I decided because my gastroenterologist was like, you should probably do this because we just don't know. And like I said, the few cases of somebody had similar to me, they died and they were similar age. And I was like, well, I just can't take that chance. And they're so little known. So I did it pretty quickly after discovering it. And then I'm out here in Hawaii. So I ended up flying to South San Francisco to have it done out there at their gastric cancer center because they were able to do it laparoscopically. And here in Hawaii, like, they weren't able to do that. They do it now at Kaiser where I work. They do have a physician that can do it laparoscopically, but before it was like open, you had to have like a peg tube. And I was like, I don't know. That just sounds really terrible. I didn't discover Dr. Davis and the NIH study until after the fact. So,
Do you belong to the study now?
I do. Yeah, I do now.
Oh, cool.
So I'm a part of the study, and a couple of my family members are now a part of the study.
So they tested positive for the.
Wow. Now, are you able to see a doctor in Hawaii for your checkups? Is that checkups even a thing now that you're 2 years out, or?
Yeah, so I'm still doing like the regular cancer screening stuff because we don't know associations. So I get like a mammogram every year. I'm actually super overdue to go see, like, to get a pap smear because, you know, those are always so fun. So I'm super overdue for that. And then I have, you know, my primary care doctor, my gastroenterologist. It's mostly like they're following me, but now post-gastrectomy, it's just mostly making sure that, like, my vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff are up to par.
Right. So I saw you just the other day getting an iron infusion.
Yeah.
Is that something that you have to do frequently, or?
I
your first time?
Yeah, it's my first time. So I got my annual labs and it showed that I was anemic again, but this time it's because of malabsorption from iron. So when you don't have a stomach, you don't make the acid that helps the iron absorb it. You know, help your body absorb the iron. Without the acids, the iron turns to rust in your body and you just poop it out. So you know, it's very common in like people that have bariatric surgeries or total gastrectomies to have an iron deficiency anemia. So mine was pretty low, so she decided to just do an infusion. So I'm not sure how long these infusions will last. And it's hard for me to take iron. I don't know if you guys take iron, but it's
Yeah.
like super
Yeah.
constipating. So
Right. Yes. Yes.
like a win-win.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your recovery post gastrectomy. Was it smooth sailing for you? Did you have any complications?
No, I didn't have complications. I think for me, the thing that I had the hardest time with was like eating. So just, teaching myself how to eat. You have to start with like liquids and then move to kind of purees and more soft foods. And for a few months, it was like, even if I was eating solids, it was always with some sort of liquid. So at the time I wasn't vegan, but like if I had chicken, like I'd have to have it with like, broth or something to kind of help like wash it down. And then just being like really careful to like set a timer on my watch or on my phone to make sure I ate like every 2.5 hours to make sure I got my calories. I track my calories every single day. Actually, still to this day, I think I've logged like 837 days. So,
Oh, good. That's good,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So,
So,
just keeping track of calories.
and you're like us in that you're a vegan. And what made you decide to go vegan after you had your stomach out?
Yeah, so one of my really good friends at work, she's vegan, and so she was always talking about it, how amazing she felt and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, you're crazy, girl. Like, how could you feel so amazing and have so much energy? And how could your skin look so great and everything? I was like, you're just blowing smoke. But then challenging for me, like, because you have to chew it to a pace.
Uh-oh.
To a pace.
Uh-oh.
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's on your end or our end, but let's just give it a minute. We see your face and we have a little spinny circle right now. So let's just give it a second. We might have to exit and restart, but I hope we don't have to. Can you see us? We cannot see you. Shoot. What should we do? Should we restart it?
Yeah, let's just rejoin her in.
Oh,
we're still
okay.
live.
We're still live. Hello, everybody. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Katrina. Hi, Shane. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Okay.
We're going to go invite her back in.
Can't. What's going on? Sorry, guys. Bear with us here. This is a good, I'm really, it's cool talking to someone who doesn't have a stomach, who's vegan, because we have so many questions. We don't have our gastrectomies yet. Hopefully, I don't know what we're going to do, but
I'm the one that's on the fence. Me and Stephanie, our cousin that we interviewed.
Right. And so it's very good to talk to Raquel because she's vegan and she doesn't have a stomach. So we have a lot of questions for her. I just don't know what's going on. I don't think it's on our end. We have full bars here. I'm not sure what to do.
Me either.
We'll give it a minute. Oh, is unable to join. Oh no. Let me try one more time.
Maybe her phone died.
I don't know. Well, it says that she's on.
Oh,
here we go.
There we go.
Yay! Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on. Okay.
Oh, I think
We're good.
I don't know if it's like my internet or what, but
oh shoot.
Okay. So, all right. So your coworker was a vegan.
I think it's still frozen.
Oh, no. Shoot. Okay. Wow. What should we do?
Should we just turn it off and restart?
We might have to restart.
And we'll do part 1, part 2.
We're going to do that. Okay. So if you can see us, Raquel, we're going to restart this.